Hi Year 13s, my name's Jess. I'm a 2024 Leaver student and the site department have asked me to do a little video explaining some of the advice that I might give to you guys to make your Year 13 a little bit easier. So let's get into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about was essay plans. So if you have not got essay plans on all of the paper 1 content or some of the clinical content that you started last year, you need to do that as soon as you can. I'm pretty sure that you're also going to have a December paper 2 mock like we did, and also a February paper 1 mock, and that time period is difficult and there's a lot going on, so you need to make sure that you're caught up on all of your essay plans before, like as soon as you can, before you get to the mocks. I remember for my paper 2 mock, I hadn't done all of the criminal and clinical essay plans, so I literally had to do like probably over 30 essay plans within the space of like a week or a couple of weeks, and yeah, it was not it. So do your essay plans as soon as you can. For my paper 1 actual exam, my learning 8 marker was on Pavlov, which is such a small study, so don't underestimate the things that they can ask you about, because they can literally ask you on anything. Like, don't think that it's too small of a research method or a theory or a study. Make essay plans on absolutely everything. Essay plans are the only resource that you need to be able to excel in A-level psychology. I didn't waste time making notes, especially in Year 13, because your essay plan has all of your AO1, all of your AO3, and you can make AO2 notes if you really want to, all in one place. That's the only thing you need. Second point that I wanted to touch on was about revision. Making essay plans does not count as revision. As much as I wanted to believe that it did, it doesn't. That's the preparation. So 2 main things that work for me in terms of revision are my study flashcards. So you know how for theories and things you have littler studies that you learn about that you can use as evaluation to back up the theory or to criticise it. I made flashcards with the name of the study on the front and what the study found on the back and what that says about the theory, and I used to practice those basically every night for weeks until I could tell you everything about those specific studies. Literally the only other thing that I did for revision is essay plan blurting. Blurting was my best friend. When you have an essay plan, I would literally have an open plain book of paper and write down everything that I could remember from my essay plan about a specific theory or study or research method, and then I'd go back to my essay plan and I'd fill in all of the things that I couldn't remember in a different colour, and I'd carry on doing that until I could remember the whole of the essay plan from just looking at the study or the theory or whatever it was. And trust me, I know it's boring, but it's the only thing that I found for me that works, because there's no point making an essay plan and not going back to it, because then you're not going to remember it for your exam. If you're going to take away one thing from this video, take away essay plan blurting, because that was, yeah, my best friend. And I also did different theories in different colours as well, so then I would associate the different colours with the different theories. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on for revision is timed practice. You have to be doing time practice. If you're not already, please start. It is so difficult at first. I know I could probably write about half of a 20 marker in the 30 minutes when I first started, but if you are consistent and you are resilient, you will improve. It just makes it so much less stressful in an exam when you know that you're going to be able to write your essay plan from memory within the time. My third overall point is that I wanted to say that September to December of Year 13 is humbling. It humbled me greatly, specifically in psychology, but just in general. It's so difficult when you're trying to learn new content as well as revise other things, and you're learning the new styles of questions, how to write a 16 marker, how to write a 20 marker, how to, you know, the new styles of short answer questions, whilst also trying to revise everything. It's difficult, and for me, I didn't see any progress in my grade in psychology. If anything, I went a little bit backwards. I was getting, you know, C's and D's in September to December. So what I would say is, don't worry if you're not making progress during that time. If anything, maintaining your grade at that point from whatever you finished off on in Year 12 is a massive achievement. The real progress for me happened from January-ish. It was when we started paper 3, because once you start paper 3, you'll hear people saying that it's the revision paper. There's not really any new content apart from the debates, and the styles of questions are a bit different, but there's no new content, so you have so much more extra time for your independent study to be going back and revising paper 1 content, revising paper 2 content, doing timed practice, blurting your essay plans. You have so much more time to improve. So that's when I really started to see improvement in my grade, from the C's and D's where they were to A's and A stars. And finally, the last point that I wanted to make is ask your teacher for help. So if you haven't already, in like, you know, last year, rely on your teacher, ask them questions. Like, they are experts at what they do. Give them essays back that you've done to mark in time to practice. Ask them what mark you would get. Ask them what you need to do to improve it. Ask them to check your essay plans. Please don't be scared or think, oh, that's a stupid thing. Like, they're there to help you. A-level psychology is probably the hardest thing that I've ever done, and you know, I was a biology and chemistry student as well, and a lot of people were surprised when I said that psychology was the one that I found the hardest and the one that I had to spend the most time on. I definitely could not have done it without Lindsay and Chantel, who were my two teachers. Like, they were absolutely brilliant. I know that I definitely wouldn't have, you know, got where I am now without their support and without their help. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. I'm sure that they'll forward them on to me. All I can say is good luck for this year. So yeah.